So you're scrolling through social media again, waiting for those heart emojis to come running in and validate your worth, huh? Or how about comparing your current circumstances to those you follow? Or this one, you always saying yes to other requests even when it's inconvenient to you in hope of being liked or accepted. It's a cycle that all people go through, but I'm gonna be real with y'all right now. This is exactly what is stopping us from being successful and reaching our goals. And we're gonna be stuck in this cycle in what seems to be forever if we don't change our behavior.
Welcome back. My name is Catherine. If you're new here, subscribe because it's a lot of fun on this side. Today we're actually going to be tackling a topic that is needed to be discussed, and it is self-validation. So a few years ago, I found myself seeking validation from other people, whether that was at my job or from my social group or even on social media. I found myself in this continuous cycle of me just trying to compare myself and get approval from other people because I just had this sense of I needed to be included. I started to become this person that other people would identify me as. Like, I was known as the crazy girl, the airhead, the one who was a klutz, and I started to become that person. Like, I would be telling myself, like, I'm not ever gonna be able to do a professional career. I'm not smart enough. I can't speak in public. Until one day, it all changed. Like, once I actually started my career and I got into my career super early, I went into the corporate world and I had my first admin job at 19. And from there, I became an HR by 20. And by 21, I was already a manager. And there was this one turning point that really allowed me to start validating myself more and not expecting other people to do that for me. And it was when I worked on this project. I was already uncomfortable as it is because in my subconscious mind, my beliefs were I suck at presentations. I just am not this type of person. I did receive a little harsh criticism from the upper management, but in that moment, I knew how hard I worked on that presentation. I realized that I was allowing someone else's experience and their perception to define my value. And I was not with it. I know how hard I worked on this project and I know I gave it my all. So I started to take that criticism as constructive feedback. Instead of deteriorating my value, telling myself that I'm not good enough and I'm never gonna be successful, you know, I should have known better, I instead took that as an opportunity to grow and to learn. What I'm about to share with you today has helped me to look more internally instead of externally. So I really hope that this helps you guys because I know that social media is definitely one of the hardest challenges that we face. We actually have to become aware that we are in this cycle of negativity and of comparison, of fear of rejection and of judgment, and start to realize that only you can validate yourself and make yourself feel confident and worthy of who you are. So as always, we have to start with a little definition. So Google's definition of self-validation is the feeling of having recognized, confirmed, or established one's own worthiness or legitimacy. Sounds about right. Think for a moment, like, our ego gets the best of us sometimes. You may be watching this video and you may be like,
that's not me. I'm so successful in my job. Like, I don't need to be better at anything. I don't care what people think about me.
But I know deep down, you feel some sense of wanting to feel included or a fear of rejection because there's always gonna be a voice in the back of our head who is telling us, what are they gonna think? What are they gonna say about me? You know, are they gonna think that I'm slow? Are they gonna think that I'm stupid? But the thing that we have to do is we have to quiet that voice to allow us to grow and to achieve our dreams and our goals and not keep us stuck in our comfort zone. So I have been going to therapy. Actually, I have been going now for 3 weeks. It has been so life-changing, you guys. It's beautiful. And I am so fortunate because through my job, it actually has like the EAP program, so the employee assistance program that offers like 6 therapy sessions for free. So I came to my therapist and I was like, I want to be more productive. I want to be successful in my business. I want to have better communication. I want to be able to understand understand myself more. She's like, you have to build a romantic relationship with yourself in order for you to show up as your best self and be able to be productive, be organized, and be a good communicator, because the base of everything is the relationship with yourself. So self-love is all about loving yourself without conditions. So a lot of the time when we seek out validation from others, it's because we have a low self-worth for ourselves. We aren't confident in our abilities. We're unsure of who we are. So we need to seek out from other people to validate us and validate who we are as a person. 2 techniques that my therapist has shared with me, which I am now gonna share with you guys, because of course I'm gonna share with y'all all the good stuff. Number 1 is taking a personality test. So I think it's called the Myers-Briggs test. So it asks you a bunch of questions that you have to answer about who you are currently at this present moment, not who you want to be or who you were in the past. And it'll give you your personality type, and it literally breaks it down into like romantic relationships, career-wise, literally tells you exactly who you are. I gained so much clarity from doing this exercise. I am actually a INFJ, I think it is. I'm an advocate. So that means that I'm always looking to help other people. There are times where I put other people's needs first instead of my own. I am someone who is very connected with her heart, who always looks for deep, meaningful connections. I was like, okay, so I'm not crazy. This is actually my personality. Like, this is who I am to my core. That definitely helped me to connect with myself a little bit more and understand myself, be more compassionate with my struggles, become more aware of my strengths and my weaknesses. The second technique that she told me to do was to show yourself your own love language. If you can do that every other day, or if you want to start with once a week. For me, my love languages are acts of service and gifts. I have started to, either clean up my workspace, or I'll meal prep some food for me. I started to get myself flowers, or get my nails done, something to show that I care, because once you do that for yourself, you're showing love to yourself. Like, you don't need to expect anybody else to show you your love languages, because you're already satisfying your heart. You're already making yourself happy and feel loved by you doing that for you. And a lot of the times we invalidate our own feelings, maybe because of our childhood. We were exposed to family members or our social groups. Maybe we weren't validated. Like, whenever we tried to share our feelings or emotions, like, it was just suppressed. They didn't care about it. So now that's kind of the mindset that you have. It may be that you feel uncomfortable even just talking about your feelings. Maybe it's that you fear judgment. Maybe it can be logic and reasoning. Whenever you're feeling anxious or upset, you're probably telling yourself, like, you shouldn't be feeling this right now. There's nothing happening that you should be feeling this. What happens is, whenever you suppress or you invalidate your feelings, you're adding more fire to the fuel. You are just adding emotion on top of emotion on top of emotion. Like, if you feel anxious and then you're like, I shouldn't be feeling this way, now you're upset. So now you're anxious, angry, and then you're frustrated, and then you're stressed, which then can lead to depression. We do not want that. There are actually MRI studies that actually show that whenever you label an emotion, it actually decreases activation in the emotional center of our brain. When we think of emotions, they're like little alarms. They're letting us know what's going on around us. So when we start to ignore them or we suppress those emotions, they're gonna get louder and louder and louder. But once you actually become aware of them, you validate them, you label them, you feel powerful, you feel confident, like you have influence over them, you are in control. So think about a time when you went to a family member or a friend and you told them that you were upset about something. Let's say that they were to respond to you like, why are you so upset about that? You shouldn't be feeling like that. You're being too sensitive. How are you gonna feel? You're gonna probably feel isolated. You're gonna feel your emotions get bigger and get louder. How about if they were to respond, of course you're upset. I would feel the same way if I were in your position. You would feel heard, you would feel understood in that moment. We need to start doing that to ourselves. We need to start validating ourselves. To start labeling your feelings. I'm feeling sad. I feel sad because this happened. Now I need to do this so I don't feel sad. It's not gonna be like a light switch that you're gonna be able to now like not care about what others people think, but it's just about starting to become aware of it. Like whenever you start to find that little voice pop into your head, I don't wanna be rejected, I don't wanna be judged, like I need this person to respond to me in this way, or whenever you feel an emotion and you're like, I shouldn't be feeling like this, catch yourself in the act and start changing those negative thoughts into empowering ones. Because the quicker that you start doing that every single day, practice, it's gonna make progress, you guys. All right, we are aiming for progress, not perfect, progress. So what are the benefits of self-validating? Of course, your self-esteem is gonna boost, your confidence, you're gonna have more positive self-talk, you're gonna become emotionally resilient, so you're gonna be able to control your emotions more, you're gonna be less reactive and more understanding. It's also going to improve your mental health, you're gonna be living a healthier lifestyle, and you're gonna find more inner peace. So I think the benefits overrule the uncomfort. The moment we have all been waiting for, how do we start validating ourselves? So we need to, of course, get to the root of this sucker. We need to understand why it is that we care so much about what other people think. A desire of acceptance or fear of rejection. You then have to journal your feelings. You have to reflect on what are your values, what are your strengths, what are your accomplishments. Whenever you're feeling unsure of your capabilities, you're gonna be able to think about those accomplishments. You're gonna be able to look back on what you wrote down and be like, wow, I did do that. I'm a boss. You have to start healing your past. You have to accept what happened to you and you have to let it go, learn from it, and start thinking about the future. Set goals, pursue your dreams. Whatever makes your heart skip a beat, go for it. And that is a wrap. Please remember that this is a constant battle that takes progress. There's gonna be good days, there's gonna be bad days. Awareness is key, and so is self-compassion. Stop judging yourself, stop being hard on yourself, stop expecting these things from other people, and start looking internally. Start validating yourself, loving yourself for who you are, trusting your capabilities, and start reminding yourself of everything that you have accomplished, all of the challenges that you have overcome, because you are a badass. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. You are a badass. Thank you all for watching. I hope that this video empowered you guys to become your best self, take control of your future, and start building your best life. I want to know your opinion, so let me know down in the comments. What are some strategies that have helped you stop caring about what other people think? And let's build this supportive community so we can grow together. As always, I appreciate you guys so much, and stay blessed.
Oh my, what a one.